start from the point O. And B. So actually, if we consider this moving, it's going to move to, for the, let's say the sum wave on the fluid. It's moving from O to A. In the case of the fluid or the pendulum, it stops for an instant to go back to O. From O goes to B, from B goes back to O, goes back to A. So it's a continuous movement going up and down and up and down. In the case of the saxophone, what we have seen, it goes up to A, stops, and stays up there for a while. How long? Who knows? Any movement of the reed might be a different period of time that the reed stays on point A, according to the pressure. If you blow a soft reed with a lot of pressure, it closes, it stays there for ages, as soon as you leave the pressure. If you put more pressure than the spring effect of the reed and the counter pressure of the horn, so it stays there. Then goes back to O, to B. It doesn't stay on B because there is nothing to maintain it there. It goes back to A and stays on A. During this time, you have the resonance inner the pipe, which is not the biggest amplitude of the sound. The biggest amplitude is straight flapping. So it will make a big difference. For example, while you play the subtone, you reduce the time that reed is on point A to a minimum and sometimes not even touch there. So you still have hair going in, like partially in the reed vibrating on this hair cushion, I would say, and never really closed. And it doesn't get this buzz. This particular buzz is actually the sound that stops. You know, that makes pop, 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 bzzz, make this buzz, saxophone buzz, and then it's oh, no buzz. That's a sound because you reduce A to a minimum. So the way you're going to surround the reed with pressure, you can blow or really in between the tip of the mouthpiece and the reed. That will be the most efficient air you will blow. You can even put the tongue like a V to really project your air there, and then you have the most power you can get. You can also blow under the reed. It will bring it there, but will prolongate the air. You know, people are playing like this, really blowing on the reed, and it's a little sharper, you know? Or you play like this and you really blow on the reed like this, trying to keep the reed as open as possible. It's going to affect your sound too. So just by doing those things, we'll have a lot of possibilities. So that's one element. But that's not exactly what happens here, because we have the break point here. Not going to bend like that actually. It's going to have a softer curve like this, and we'll bring the break point back there. So what will happen while the reed closes, it's going to close there and hit this flat part of the table and flap the table and give a particular reed buzz too. So this you can control also by changing the position of the ligature. If you put the ligature deeper, you will free this part of the reed, and the breakpoint going to go back further, like Dexter, put even over the table, and leaves the reed vibrating here. And he has this particular burst, that's really this reed burst off the back of the reed that hits the flat part of the table. And it's really like sound. Not that good. Am I a saxophone? So, all those elements you can work even before entering the chamber of the mouthpiece. There are many elements of just the way the reed is going to vibrate on the table. So, now we go in. I know many of you want to know about what I developed as mouthpiece, and actually the way it happens, it was kind of rare because I started playing the saxophone very late, and the reason why I started to play, I wanted to sound like Sonny Rollins, as I said yesterday, and I brought a saxophone, like Sonny, tenor saxophone, and went back home, and I didn't sound like Sonny. How goes? And okay, I realized the mouthpiece was important, and I asked my man Bernard, who was my teacher, I said, oh, don't step in this trap. So, of course, he said, don't step into it. I said, okay, there is the key probably, so I better step in. So I'm still in there, see, 30 years after. So, I realized that the mouthpiece was really important for creating your sound. Then I could hear in Sonny's sound there was a lot of hair. I mean, in my sound I had this little mouthpiece that came with the horn. It was very small tip opening. I took my fires and opened it up. I could put more hair. I had a more heavy sound. It was harder to play in tune. But I wasn't satisfied yet. And then I looked a little around and I saw mouthpieces with a baffle. I tried some and I realized it was brighter, but then lost the quality in the low range. And I realized that I wanted everything and that no mouthpiece on the market had everything. Good low register, good medium register, good highs, with good dynamics. And if you play piano, keep the same tone colors as you could have playing 40. So I said, okay, how should I do? How should I design a mouthpiece to get that? You know, by mostly a lot of thinking, more than trial and error. That came later, but mostly by thinking, I tried to find a way. I realized actually that the saxophone was a different instrument on each note. As back of the mouthpiece, you know, if you play a higher note, you open all the keys, you have like a shorter pipe, and then you have a longer pipe, and all the dimensions that should be in proportion are different. Let's imagine you would cut your saxophone, your tenor to get like the length of the soprano. You will play the octave of like the low range of the soprano. But then you have a tenor mouthpiece on the soprano saxophone. So why do you have a soprano mouthpiece on the soprano? Because it's a better fit. So ideally, it should be like the best fit mouthpiece for each note. You know, the higher you go, the smaller mouthpiece, the smaller reed you put on your instrument. But imagine if you had to change. Okay, so we are fronting this problem. We have a mouthpiece that's not ideal for all the notes of the saxophone. Definitely not. And how to make it play good on every note. So that's why, while you try to make it play better on a certain register, you lose on other registers. Because it's very hard to make it ideal for every note. So I've been thinking on that, about how I could really balance the whole harmonic range and the hairstream and the resistance to have it function the same way at every dynamic and every range of the instrument. And okay, well, I told you I was mechanic. Did I tell you yesterday? Motorbike racer and mechanic. And we have exactly the same problem in engines. You have a hair stream or gas stream with gas and hair mixed that is stopped by the valve that close. And while it stops, what happens while it stops? Okay, because now we've seen we have the mouth here. Big mouth. So what it stops, you blow the air that goes in, and while the reed is there and stops, actually it bounces back in the opposite direction. And it creates what we name a shock wave, because it bounces there and then comes here and bounces back in this direction. And it creates bouncing in both directions that are opposite to each other and perturbate, we can use this word in English, perturbate the hairstream. So the ideal situation is that at the exact moment that the reed is going to get open, those shock waves are in that direction together with the hairstream coming from the throat. To put them together. So it has to be in phase. You can change that with the mouth by changing the resonance of the mouth cavity, because you have the frequencies of those shock waves. They are according to the frequency of vibration of the reed. So you can affect that by adapting the resonance of your mouth cavity to what's happening there. And the idea to use the hairstream, the force of this wave together with the hairstream is to have the direction of the wave going together with the direction of the hair. So we have this flexibility of the mouth cavity. That's a long process of work. And also, we have the same thing that happened in the mouthpiece, because we said we have the counter pressure coming there. So we have also opposite direction in pressures that also perturbate this hair flow. And that's one of the reasons that the hair flow is in the way of creating those waves. But we can't escape it. We have this reed and we blow the whole hair we have into this pipe, and we have to use that. So in the engine, I developed something. I said, okay, actually, we have the same problem with the engine. As soon as you want to make it more powerful, it will function good at certain frequencies, to a certain engine speed, and the natural harmonics, like the double of the frequencies and triple, is going to be okay because it comes in phases. But in between, you have big gaps where the engine doesn't develop any power, because the gas doesn't come in properly, because they are perturbated by all those turbulences and counter waves. And so the only way to do it, so they develop that in some engine, to have the pipe length that changes with the engine speed. If it's shorter, it's a higher frequency, so you get in phase faster, so it can adapt, That's one of the solutions. I imagined a different solution that was a resonating chamber that I put around the valve. So, if you have the valve and you have, okay, so the valve coming here. So what I actually did, the string goes that way, as soon as this closes, it bounces back, and you have all those waves bouncing in this pipe in any direction. So I did a little bit what they do with no more and more they do that in the rooms to make traps for waves. You have an irregular surface with different angles. So a wave that comes and reverberate in another direction, it's another thing, goes like that, and it's forced to reverberate always in the same direction. I mean, not same direction, different direction, but in the same trap, till the moment it totally loses energy and doesn't perturbate the whole environment. So I kind of made the same with the resonating chamber, that I made like a sphere chamber around the valve. So while you heat there and the reverberate goes there, goes there, goes there, goes there, goes there, and stays there. And also, you could think it will perturbate the movement of the air, and in fact it's not the case, because while the hairstream is going in, you just create turbulences there. I don't even find the name now in French. There is a name for those turbulences that stays on their spot, and actually act like helping the hair stream. It's like bearings, you know. If it rolls because it's always on those rolls. It's like you have a surface that's too slick and you have a hair stream coming on. It's going to stick to the surface and then create kind of a turbulence because it doesn't glide on the surface. If you have like irregular surface to a certain point, you create like stationary turbulences. You create stationary turbulences on the surface, and then the stream goes like this on the surface because it's like a bearing. The finishing of the mouthpiece is not polished inside, but the thickness, that's important. Emmanuel is not there, okay, because he was in my place 2-3 weeks ago, and I made some change on the mouthpiece. So before I finished the surface, it was just with sandpaper, 400. He played the mouthpiece. Oh, it's perfect. Okay. So now we leave it like that because I make a little finishing, and then I use a certain grade. What's the name of this? It's like this flexible. I don't remember. Okay. But to really rebalance the whole inner surface with this proper grade, and then the whole thing just plays better. You know, so it's really rare to observe. Some people sometimes they can't imitate that. Even just the right quality of the surface has a big influence on the way it plays.